What is going on, everybody? Non here. And before we get into the topic at hand, which is very, very unfortunate, um, hopefully everybody had a good Pokemon day. You got some of the stuff you wanted. TG Blair had a bunch of really, really solid sales. I had a bunch on here for a couple items. So thank you for everybody who bought. So now it's time to have the unfortunate hard conversation. So I've been telling you guys for a long time, don't buy loose packs, specifically Ascended Rivals and Prismatic Evolutions. And the reason for that is, yes, they're weighable, especially the God packs, but I'm not sure anybody's ever had it on camera before. And I managed to get footage of somebody today. They are somebody in our Discord who's quite honestly was just fucking around. Watch one of my videos and they're like, hey, I'm gonna throw them on scale and just see, let's do tinfoil hat. And the results were pretty terrifying. So when I tell you, and look, they're honest ripping shippers out there. I don't have an issue with business. People hustling to make a couple bucks, that's fine. The people buying the packs, they know what they're up against. And if they don't, they're adults, so they should know better. And if they don't, they pay the stupid tax. But again, there's certainly plenty of legitimate rip and shippers out there. But this is Pokemon, and there are an awful lot of pieces of garbage that they will take your $10, they will rip you off. We've seen resealed packs, we've seen all kinds of crazy shit. G.I. Joe cards in boxes. And look, this isn't Rattle Pokemon video here. But it might be a little close. So when I tell you that the big sellers who are selling packs here, now, obviously, this is not an accusation, but if we look at this here, you have Astral Trading LLC, 500 packs. The Bartering Ants, 315 packs. Cardalards, 392 packs. Sleeved and Sealed TCG, 174 packs. When you can sell the 3-pack blisters and get a little bit of a premium, and it's tight, why would you want to spend all that time ripping 2 packs or 3 packs at a time out of cardboard? The amount of labor required to do this, it is so economical. It should make you want to scratch your head and say, okay, well, what the hell's going on here? There is a high degree of certainty that all of these packs are weighed. The packs are searched. Now, they're not going to be dead, but there is not going to be any chance of you ever getting a God pack. So hopefully this video comes up and get this out of here. This was sent to me by, again, somebody in Discord, and they were just screwing around. So here you have grams, and this is 81.6.5 grams, and these are 2-pack blisters here. So this is, you can see, these are the Larrys, Larrys and Ericas, 81.5, 81.6, no big deal. And obviously, just pause for a second. The larger the product, the more variability you're going to have in the weight of the packaging, the glue, all the little things that just round up when you're measuring in grams, because it's such a small unit of measure. Like an untrimmed corner could move the needle between, a 1/10 of a gram here or there. 81.2. 81.7. Obviously struggling here to reset the scale. 82.4. So all of a sudden, this 2-pack is a full gram, sticks out like a sore thumb, or as a coworker used to say, sticks out like a dog's balls. Since this is pretty seedy here, right? So it's like, wait a minute, what's going on? So now we're going to go back and we're going to go to the second video. So what he does from here is he weighs the 2 individual packs. So here's the first pack, 22.5 grams. I don't know what the normal weight is. I don't do this. I sell in cases and sealed product. So, I have no reason to know how much this weight is. Here you have 23.6. So you have the normal 22.5, and then this guy here, 23.6. So this is an extremely, extremely heavy pack. Well, turns out, let's see if we can go to the right one. Now, I don't have the actual opening because he didn't record that, but here's the 22.8. And here are your cards. So it is a God pack, and he was able to identify this by weighing the 2-pack blisters, looking for something that was 1 gram over, and then weighed the 2 individual packs, identified exactly what it was. And with all the foiling, all this happy stuff on here, it's overweight because it has the extra laminate, the extra foiling on. So if you're buying loose 2-pack blisters, now 3-pack blisters are a little bit more complicated. Now, I'm sure you can make an educated guess, but again, you have the 3rd pack in there. I don't know if there's 1 or 2 promos. I don't remember. But with a 2-pack blister and 100% loose packs, these things, they're weighed, they're measured, and every single one of these packs is going to be stripped out because at the end of the day, you're never going to know. Because if you're buying loose packs, I hate to say this, but you're probably on the scale where you're being taken advantage of and you don't know it. And it's unfortunate. But this is why you buy EX boxes. This is why booster bundles have a premium. There isn't a single person on the planet who should be buying loose packs. Now, if you're a rip and shipper and you're buying these, they probably don't give a shit if you get a hit or not because you're going to go back for more. You're going to get the dopamine hit. Because that's part of the business. Whether the packs are dead or the packs are not, it's really not their responsibility. Now, obviously, they would much rather have folks get hits because it looks good. But at the end of the day, it's a business. And unless you have somebody who's physically ripping these open from a larger box, you have to assume that they're already they're already weighed, and the packs are dead. So I wanted to put this out there. I thought this was frightening, a little terrifying. Now, I knew this was going on, but I didn't have firsthand evidence of how legitimately easy it was. So anyway, guys, be careful out there. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, and thanks again to everybody who bought from me today on TCG Player. Appreciate it, and have a great Friday night.